Here I am at King Henry's Road, Ambedkar's house, 1921 to 22. Here in, I suppose you can call it Primrose Hill, call it Camden. Let's see if they'll let me in today. Been here many times, of course, but I have never actually discussed Ambedkar's location, his house here, in relationship to what's in the neighborhood, because it's actually a great deal. I don't know if it's open. Yeah, it is. Yeats's house is only a few minutes walk from here, maybe 5 minutes. Friedrich Engel's house, even less. And I've walked from here many times, as I described in Becoming Baba Sahib, in the biography of Ambedkar. I've walked from here down to the British Museum and Library many times, and other places. Namaskar, khula hai? And
okay. And you need notice.
Thank you. Welcome to Ambedkar's house. I'll give a tour in just a second. As I mentioned, I've walked from here several times to all the places Ambedkar used to walk down in center. In fact, Becoming Baba Sahib biography begins with a
Your first time here?
No, I've been before.
No. The basement is closed, cement work. So first floor and second floor.
Okay, thank you. Going right up to his bedroom, where I had sort of painted as the picture of where young Ambedkar would peer out through this, what I described as solitary window, over the railway tracks that would spew out so much black smoke. And here's Ambedkar's bed. And the lonely window I described, looking out over the tracks, suggesting, of course, that everything here is anachronistic. To be honest, I have really made no secret of my opinion of this location, this site as a museum. I think it's a kind of disaster. It's so wonderful that the Maharashtrian government fought very long and hard to get the property, but this is just not how the museum and legacy in London of this world historical figure should be. It could be the site of collection of all of the archives. It could be so many more things than it is. Anyway, it is always great to visit and to see how Ambedkar would travel from here down to the Strand, to LSE, to British Museum and Library, which is really a direct shot from here, very simple to get to. Let's see if they have any of my books here. Come on, they don't even have my my biography. That's a little disappointing when they do have Kears. Great. Again, serious anachronism. Nothing here is. It's one of my favorite photos of Ambedkar because it's a candid. You see him smiling. Nothing is organized according to the time. They could have divided the rooms to represent, 1920s. What there was originally here, and then shift to see what was added later. Here we see the preamble, but once again, it is the preamble as it stands and not the preamble as Ambedkar wrote it. So, as I had mentioned, thank you. As I had mentioned, Engels' house is just steps away, and Ambedkar walked at least 3 times a day from here down this road to either the British Museum, which was the library at that time, or down to the Strand to LSE, and of course on his later trips to London he spent a great deal of time in Westminster, and he did come back. In the 1950s, Ambedkar writes Revolution and Counter-Revolution in Ancient India, a title that he takes from, I think directly from M.N. Roy, but who had taken it from M.N. Roy's book Revolution and Counter-Revolution in Ancient China, I believe it was called, and who had taken it in turn from Engels. So here we come to Engels' house, right around the corner from Ambedkar's, and I'll shoot another video at Engels' place, but a few more steps down and we'll come to Yeats's house. Yeats, of course, Ambedkar also would have known. Would he have known of him in 1921 when he lived here? Let's see. How would Ambedkar have come to know of Yeats? Now, Yeats has already celebrated the writings of Tagore, his English translation of Gitanjali, which Tagore wrote about 30 minutes walk north of here in Hampstead Heath. I don't think Ambedkar would have walked up in that direction. He was far more interested in London City than going out to the country. But that was the first time he would have heard of Yeats, I suppose. Yeats's writings, introduction to Tagore's Gitanjali, which got Tagore the Nobel Prize. And then the next time I expect would have been in the 1930s, 1938 I believe it was, when Yeats translates the Upanishads, working with what was his name? Jonathan. Working with Brahmin Sanskritist. Yeats and this guy head off to some island somewhere in the Mediterranean and translate the Upanishads from Sanskrit. Yeats polishes the English, and these become known as the 10 Principal Upanishads. Very, very well-known volume. In fact, even I have the book. I've had it for decades. So Ambedkar must have known of this, but as I mentioned, that came out in 1938, and the time Yeats won the Nobel Prize was again after Ambedkar lived here. But I think it's interesting to think that I'm walking down the road that Ambedkar would have taken to get from his house to the British Museum, and a parallel road to get to LSE. And along these ways, you encounter not only the house of Friedrich Engels, whom Ambedkar knew about, but also Yeats, whom I think Ambedkar must have known about. And so, the question is, did Ambedkar drop by these houses like I'm about to now?